Ralph Lindeman, 2 more meets last week for your team in preparation. Lots of great things happening. You got to feel good about what's going on with your teams.
Oh, it was one of the best weekends I can remember of a regular season meets. We took about 40 athletes down to New Mexico and did some great things in some lane events and sprint and hurdle events and some field events. And we took a group of about 16 to Iowa State to run against some great competition on an oversized track and came back with some amazing times. And we found out a lot more about ourselves going into next week's conference meet. We also found a lot more out about our rivals and our opponents that we'll face next week. So it was a really good weekend, and we made some huge dents on our all-time lists, and a school record, and just it's just fun.
Is it hard to keep track of all this, especially when so many good things are happening?
Well, yeah. No, it's not because of our technology. So I'm at New Mexico watching the meet, trying to watch throwers and jumpers and sprinters and hurdlers all competing at the same time, and I've got my phone in front of me pulling up live results of events that are coming from Iowa State in real time. And so I'm keeping track of 4 events visually, and one I'm looking at the data points on live results, and occasionally I even snuck over to Flow Track to watch the live stream of what was going on at Iowa State. So I was fully engaged in watching everything. It was fun.
Has this helped you now? Because we're maybe 9 days away from Mountain West. Has this helped you put the team together?
Yeah, I mean we now know 90% of our travel squad to go next week back to Albuquerque. And we have a few riddles we want to try to solve at our meet this week, and then we'll be complete. We are ready. We're as healthy as we could be, with a couple big exceptions. Katie Thompson, on the women's side, we are going to miss her. She's not only a great athlete that could probably score in the hurdles and the long jump. She's a great team leader, even though she's just a sophomore. She's on our team leadership council, and we'll miss her. But we've got some exciting things happening with our women. So just this last weekend, the highlight of the meet was the last event of the meet. Our women's 4x4 runs 3:47.77, the second best time in Air Force Academy history, and they're getting really close to breaking one of the oldest records in our record book from a team in the 80s. So that's a long time ago, and we have interchangeable parts on that relay. So we've got 5 or 6 women that are capable of running a leg, and led by Michelle Roca and Grace Presh, 2 seniors that have had really good careers with us. Grace is coming back from an injury and doing phenomenally, and Michelle is having one of the best seasons a lane event person has ever had since we've been in Division I. And by that I mean, 400 is running lanes, and outdoors she's a 400-meter hurdler, so she's not even run her best event yet, but she is fun to watch. She runs with incredible intensity and drive and determination. She's just so fun to watch, and so she inspires that whole relay team and really our whole team with her efforts.
Definitely, and then you have some younger runners who are learning from them.
Oh yeah.
Well,
even on that 4x4 relay team, Taylor Rio, a freshman from Austin, Texas, and we're really excited with her and with her future. And then we had some amazing things happen with our freshman distance runners at Iowa State. So Lindsay Peters wins against some really good competition, the 3,000 meters in 9:21.65, which is the 4th fastest time in Air Force Academy history. Now you have to put that in perspective. Obviously it's a freshman record, but when you think of the women that we've had, Mahala Norris, Maria Metler from last year, Hannah Everson, J.C. Smith from previous years, and then some great distance runners that we had back in the early 90s, Callie Calhoun and Shannon Carpel, now Shannon Wright. And it's so a freshman that does that, it's like, wow, you've got some big things ahead of you. And then Tiari Towler, I think I mentioned her last week. Once again, she ran really, really well. And we've got several other freshmen, Hallie Hamilton, Sydney Weber, Ellie Peterson, really some exciting things for this freshman group.
Yeah, that'll be fun to watch, especially when we get into conference as well. And Sam Gilman, I have to bring up his name.
Oh,
Seems
wow.
like I say it every week.
Wow.
Sets a new
Amazing.
record every week.
So I coined our outstanding performances at Monday's team meeting, and I think Sam Gilman's got a collection of coins, and I challenged him yesterday to pay him forward, give him to his AOC and some instructors. But just amazing. So he now has set school records this season in the mile, 357 equivalent. It was run at altitude. In the 3,000, which he did last week at Iowa State, and in the 5,000, which he did earlier in the year in Boston. And so he holds every indoor distance record. Not only has set the record, but he's smashed them. And we just have to figure out how we can best utilize him and maximize points from him in the conference meet. He is amazing, and he inspires everyone around him, not just our distance runners, middle distance runners, but really everyone on the team with he's just a driven young man, and we're proud of him. I told him yesterday, I whispered to him, I said, I'm never going to take you for granted, but you can do so many things.
He's awesome,
Yeah.
and just a junior. Lots of other good things happening, though. Do you feel like the team is peaking at the right time for indoor?
Definitely. We've improved each week. We've been fortunate in staying somewhat injury-free. There's a few people we wish they were 100%. We could compete them next week. They might be at 90%, but it's so competitive. I like to think our team is, when it comes to the other 10 institutions in our conference, the other 10 women's teams and the other 7 men's teams that compete in indoor track, I think ours is the hardest team to make a travel squad. And so we're going to leave some people at home next week, unfortunately, that are ranked in the top 8 in the conference, which means they would score. So we're going to leave some points at home because we have so much terrific depth, and particularly in the distances, there are some guys that ran on our conference cross country, championship team this last fall that aren't going to be named to the team because there might not be at 100%. They got minor little injuries, but we're going to take the best people we can, try to optimize how many points we can score.
Yeah, that'll be fun. We'll talk next week a little bit more about the Mountain West meet coming up. But Ralph, got the Air Force Invitational this Friday. Thank you so much for your time. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks, Brian.